This is just an AMZN for Friday, June 1st, 2018. I am a few minutes after midnight, and I always try and start these before midnight so that even if it goes beyond, I can still say the right date that's on the corner. But today, I'm a few minutes behind. So, and I'm also throwing the video out here a little bit different. So, this is Friday's candles and Friday's trades and everything that happened on the day. Another gap up. This one actually clearing the previous yesterday's Thursday's highs. It actually came right back down. Like, look at this wick. The low on this wick, 1635.09, and the high here was 1635 on this one, 1635 exactly. That was insane. Like 9 cents away. Somebody could have been buying, like somebody who sold here could be the one buying here, because it's actually coming right back into that level. What an incredible retest. So it's just another example where the previous day's highs come into play, and that's what we're seeing just because it's so bullish. These highs here and this high here came into play later in the day here, and it just bounced, and it sunk down to it and then bounced from that and rallied and then continued rallying pre-market, and then actually just consolidated at the beginning of the day today until it broke out. With these upper wicks here, had somebody not been buying down here, you would have been looking for a move above the wicks, and that would have been that candle or that retest. 2 opportunities to get in, and a stop, below, maybe down here to be conservative. If you thought maybe it'll retest a little bit further, look for a trade it, or look for a pullback into the 21 here with a stop down here. That didn't happen. Even if you had bought in this candle, it very quickly ran up and then just kind of chopped and then continued sideways. So just this consolidation here, where you have some lower highs and relative lows, and then breaking down, coming back up into this level, and then falling again, and then recovering. These are the moves that I love to see right into an expiration, because there's some significant things that can happen in the options when it does this. So we can look at the puts on that in just a little bit. But this move, we want to continue looking at the calls that we were talking about. This was what we were looking at yesterday, getting in around the 8 or 9, somewhere in there. I think buying around 9, even buying around here with at 9 with a stop at 8, and then here getting in at like 10, 10.50, just riding something up. On the other side of that trade was the target being up here, and again, you're contending with these values that we actually made highs on that now are the new lows. You're seeing just that you've got some carryover from this being an old resistance and now new support, even in the option. And somebody could have literally been buying down here. Somebody was, whoever this was here, or multiple people buying here. You could have gotten in for maybe 17 with a stop at 16, or maybe a little lower, so maybe more than $100 risk. But that rallied, if you bought at 16.50, what was it? 16.50 was the low. 17, maybe you bought at 17 and rode that up. You could have exited for 9R, if there was $100 risk. So had you been buying, based on this option high, then you would have had it be a little wider there, maybe get in at 17 by 15, something like that. And then quickly move your stop up, maybe add to the position as it's moving up. So opportunities to make more than a 10-hour trade when it's going to do something like this, consolidate, hold a level, and get in on a candle like that. Just phenomenal to see it work out so well. This is the daily picture. We had a bullish retest gap. Didn't really retest too much. It went sideways, which is another form of retest. But we've had now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bullish candles in a row, and we have made a new all-time high on the daily. The previous all-time high was 1638.10, and we took that out today. The 1638, I say 1638.10 price. Let's see where that ended up in here. Around this. So we got past it there. Was it here? No, you're already 1640. I didn't look for this before the video. Sorry about that. 1638. Yeah, so we were clearing the daily all-time high at the pre-market level here. And I didn't go back to see what that value was pre-market. I thought we were around 1660s, but I'd have to go back and check. Actually, let's check that because now I'm really curious. See what the hourly tell me? Was that recent? No, hourly won't. 4 hours should. 1664.81 is the all-time high that we still have, including pre-market then, or when the market is closed. So that's, this is the level we were close to today. The close on that candle and the open of this candle at 1652.80. Well, when I say close, I mean we're just drifting higher into this. If anyone's trying to short up here, they're getting stopped out, or they are really losing if they're just stubbornly holding that position. But this is a phenomenal continuation of a bullish move. This does not have to pull back. This is just so steadily bullish. It does not have to pull back and come back into these levels. It could just kind of meander a little bit higher, come lower. Doesn't have to do something so sharp. It very well could, but I'm saying it doesn't have to. And then it could put in another higher base like this one, even up here, if it were to do that in this area, before pushing above this all-time high, 1664.81. And hopefully you're not the person buying way up there, because you're still down if you were the last person to buy before it turned. So we swing back into the 5 minute, and this is normally what I do when I'm getting these ready, is I look at the last couple days here, see, okay, how are we interacting the last couple days, what lines are we looking at? And when I did this today, it's like, wow, that's just totally holding that level. Let's just go straight to that, show it. Don't step through the 5 minute. It's still a great exercise if you're doing it, and to walk through, okay, what am I seeing here? That's a nice bullish candle. Oh, it almost got taken out. Oh, it did get taken out in that candle. That's more bullishness. It's, almost a rising, falling 3 pattern, which is bullish, or whatever it's called. This is nice having some selling in here. Indecision. Gotta practice saying that word some more in the video. Indecision candle here that then breaks bullish, and your stop would have been here. So could have traded that. This nice small pause, could have gotten above that with a stop right here aggressively. All kinds of way to trade this, just being bullish after it does this consolidation for about an hour. This indecision candle here was at 9:30. That's an hour into the market. So there are 12 5-minute candles here saying, whatever it's saying about sideways, no conviction, and then this starts to convict once it has some smaller candles and goes higher. This is a great stair step here. These 4 candles, almost including this here, because that kind of primes it for one last move to get going above those wicks, including even this wick. So this is the this candle kind of touched on it, but didn't clear these two. This candle actually finished the job of what this candle was doing, to be a little stronger bullish. This retest and just go. So had you been buying a call here at 10:05, let's see, zoomed in on the day, 10:05, possibly getting that for maybe 21 by 20, possibly, something like that. This low wick down, and then that would have been a few R to exit anywhere up here. Some folks may have traded right through this candle and just saw, oh, it's continuing to go sideways. I should have gotten out back then, and then just get out. And that's the selling we're seeing here. Some people are getting out later than they should, and maybe losing if they got in late. But that's what happens in the market: is you go into the plan of what you're going to buy, what you're going to sell, when and where, and stick to it to do this, have the same results that the the practice that we had. So I did want to look over at the put, and the only so this is the 1640 put that expired today, and I just see a little bit of move here, a little move here, and a little more move here. And this one coincides with this sell-off right here on these couple candles, where we actually came down, looked like we're going to hold it a third time, and then actually breaks down to hold down here. And this level, so these two candles are 6 cents apart, but this same level is that indecision candle right here, and just an opportunity to, going from indecision to something that's a support is a great idea for that candle to do. What was that, 1636? 1339, 16 and 10, and this low 16, 25. Actually did get a little bit below, slight bit below that candle, and hopefully you would have been looking for a place to buy again on that candle. Would have been in. Stop a little bit lower, maybe a little more conservative, but that moved nicely. That moved nicely bearish, that moved back nicely bullish, and you can see that in some of the options here. Seeing that rally on the sell-off, and then this one, seeing this rally after that sell-off, and move again. There 2, 3, 4 R potentially, depending on what your risk was here. But if you set it up with $1 risk and came into that key value, then it's great to see it repeating that way. And you should continue doing that until that method doesn't really work, because it's working. It's should be something that's profitable. So we just continue to drift lower on the puts, continue to drift higher on the calls, and seem very much in line with what the market makers are doing to get this thing to move higher, and setting up some premium up here to buy and sell. But you can see this consolidation on the options here. Great places to look at this, study this, how the option move versus the stock, and then be able to do some analysis and some rules to set yourself up to win with that. So there's plenty more here that we could go through, but as it is later in the day, and just continue to look for this to actually move bullish. It's kind of crazy to say, but this up here looks like this, looks like this, kind of looks like this, this. It's just a flag pattern here. We could come back to a level that this could be support, might be somewhere in here on Monday, or this could be a flag before it just continues higher. I'm not real great with Dow theory and all that to be able to draw some things in. I'm just looking at the lines we got and saying that, hey, we got some key areas that it's drawn for itself with what we know about support and resistance, and there's definitely opportunities here to play this. Be cautious, because it could move against you without even moving if you're in options. And so, that's what we really do spend some time looking at, and looking at the premiums and how to do these better with tighter stops. But this has been a really, really phenomenal move up, and just get ready for more. Looking at the daily, it definitely could pull back into this line and then bounce again. That would be a great place for it to retest from above on a daily level, and we'll just see. The last time we had 7 candles in a row. Oops, went too far out. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you had a couple of bullish gap and goes here, and then you have 1 and 2 bullish gap and goes. Less of bullish in all things, so all comes down to bullish retest. Yeah, there's definitely some opportunity for this to gap up, make another all-time high, sell off similar to this candle, and then come back down into that level and bounce potentially. This one came back even further into a little bit lower level, into the 21. It does not hurt to do that. It just means that Amazon's taking a little longer on pause, which they may or may not do. So we'll see. We'll be back next week with some more videos, and enjoy the weekend. Thank you for watching this video, and take care. This is Justin AMZN.